This podcast is solely for the attention of institutional, professional, qualified, or sophisticated investors and distributors.
Hi everyone, this week we are going to talk about climate and climate objectives. Indeed, the World Meteorological Organization, an agency of the United Nations, has just released its report State of the Global Climate 2020, and the conclusions of this report are not reassuring. Let me quote some findings. First, 2020 was one of the 3 warmest years on record, despite a cooling La Nina event. Then, the 6 years since 2015 have been the warmest on record, and the decade from 2011 to 2020 was the warmest decade on record. Finally, the global average temperature was about 1.2 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level, which means since 1850 to 1900. And by the way, let me recall that the objective of the Paris Agreement is to limit global warming to a level well below 2 degrees Celsius compared to the pre-industrial level, and preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius. That's it for the State of the Global Climate 2020 report. In the meantime, the Mauna Loa Observatory in Hawaii, which has the longest continuous record of carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere, has just registered a carbon dioxide concentration of 420 particles per million for the first time in history. And as a reminder, it was around 315 particles per million in the 50s. Moreover, the International Energy Agency recently indicated that while the level of energy-related carbon dioxide emissions at the global level had indeed fallen by 5.8% in 2020 compared to 2019, it had already come back at the end of 2020 to its pre-crisis levels. And in terms of short-term projections, the agency has just indicated in its Global Energy Review 2021 that the demand for fossil products will again increase significantly in 2021. And for the executive director of the agency, Fatih Birol, this is a dire warning that the economic recovery from the COVID crisis is currently anything but sustainable for our climate, and unless governments around the world move rapidly to start cutting emissions, we are likely to face an even worse situation in 2022. Well, it seems that governments are starting to realize the climate emergency. One of the most worrying and encouraging signals is that China and the US, whose relations are very bad, have committed to work together on the topic and even issued a joint statement on the topic. That's worrying because it sends a signal that the climate situation is bad, but encouraging because we can see from this that this theme could transcend disputes. And the Biden administration is expected to announce its carbon neutrality targets very soon. Elsewhere in the world, commitments have grown even stronger. Over the last few days, UK has indicated that it aims to reduce its carbon dioxide emissions by 78% by 2035 compared to the 1990 levels, while the country has previously committed to reduce them by 68% by 2030. In Europe, the European Parliament and the European Council agreed on April 21 to reduce carbon dioxide emissions by at least 55% from the 1990 levels by 2030. These commitments are strong, and very clearly the policies that will be implemented to meet these commitments will structurally impact the economy and financial markets in the near future. Thank you, and talk to you next week.
All comments and analyses reflect CPR AM's view of market conditions and its evolution according to information known at the time. As a result of the simplified nature of the information contained in this document, that information is necessarily partial and incomplete.